Good morning. This is Marilee with the Piscataquis Regional Food Center. We are here this morning with Tricia Smith at the Piscataquis County Cooperative Extension Office. And this morning we're going to be talking with Tricia about the Passport Program. Dun, dun, dun. So, thanks for meeting with us this morning.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. So, for those of the community that might not be aware, can you describe a little bit what is the Passport Program?
So the Passport Project is just a way that we help kids find their way around the community to different activities, mostly around food, during the summer, summer vacation. So basically, it's a six-week program that starts when the summer meals start.
Yeah.
The free summer meals at Setamocha, which go 5 days a week during the summer, breakfast and lunch. It's a wonderful program. But there are also other things going on in the community. The community free meal on Monday nights is
over at the congregational.
Mostly at the Congregational Church.
Yeah. Oh, so
that's one of the locations that we encourage kids and their families to go to. The library has a series of educational things during the summer. I work up in the Setamocha School Garden, which is near the utility sheds, and I'm there 1 day a week. It's going to be Mondays again this year.
Okay.
Sometimes it depends on what's growing at the time, but so we'll pick peas or we'll weed or whatever needs to be done up in the garden, and then go down for lunch afterwards.
And I loved how we were able to take the pumpkins from last season and what you guys did. That was amazing. That Marilee doesn't know that story, and I don't know that all of our listeners do either.
Yeah, this is a new...
the pumpkin.
I don't know about the pumpkin.
The Great Pumpkin Adventure.
Oh, I'm sad that I missed the Great Pumpkin Adventure. Do tell.
So this was it was all the second graders started the seeds in last spring. So and we did a Three Sisters garden. So we had corn and squash and beans.
Right.
I had terrible luck getting the beans to grow. So we didn't really have beans, but the pumpkins did great. We had some deer marauders that chomped on the pumpkins, but we still ended up with, I want to say we harvested close to 200 pounds of pumpkins.
Wow! Yeah. Oh my goodness! Well, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Who knew that little school garden? 200 pounds of pumpkin.
It was, and then so that which we harvested in September, I think, and then I just stored them out in the hallway where it's cool.
Sure.
Until it was. We did it for the Thanksgiving distribution for the food cupboard.
Wow, right. That is wonderful.
Yeah, cut them open here. Went over to the school, and all the second graders gutted them.
Oh my God, I bet they had so much fun, because that's the best part, right? Scooping out the innards of the pumpkin.
It was insanity.
Yeah.
70 second graders gutting pumpkins.
Sure.
And so then Teresa and I bagged them up in I think basically 1.5 pounds, enough to make a pumpkin pie. And I think it was we ended up with around 100 pounds of pumpkin flesh.
Usable, right?
Yeah.
Which what I love about this story, and I had no idea that this happened. Well, I was away, but what I love is again, it reminds me of the Passport Program, because these are the kind of connections between programs. So we've got our kids getting into the soil, planting the pumpkins, harvesting the pumpkins, going through the entire life cycle of the pumpkin, right, and then being able to gut it. But what I love particularly is that it then circles back to the food cupboard, and so the youth are having an opportunity to understand our local our local food system
Yeah.
and how that connects to community and what helping community is about, which reminds me that I would like to circle back to how the passport works for kids. So you mentioned several places that kids can go. So when they go to these places,
Mhm.
they what happens? Do they take their passport?
their
They go to
passport.
these places. So they
Yep.
can go to the farmers market. They
Yep.
go to the summer meals. They go to
The library.
the library,
Up to the school garden.
school garden.
This year we're working with somebody from the Soil and Water Conservation District to do a series.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yep.
So they can
that'll
go
be,
there to an event.
Yep. It'll be a series of of classes,
Mhm.
like six classes. And we don't know the exact format yet, but
Sure.
that's in the works. But yeah, and the great thing about the market, the farmers market, is yes, they get it stamped, but the other great thing at the market is the veggie vouchers.
Can you tell us a little bit about the veggie vouchers? Because this is a really great
It is,
thing that
yeah, yeah. So every passport kid, when they go to the farmers market, is eligible to receive $5 in veggie vouchers, which the kids can use
Mhm.
to select their own fresh vegetables or fruits, but
Mhm.
yeah, fresh.
So they
It's-
can. So at the end of getting this stamped, they get the veggie vouchers, or any time.
They get it stamped and get $5 in
Okay.
vouchers for each stamp. So over the season, that means that they can get up to $30
Wow.
in free vegetables, basically.
Oh.
And they don't have to spend it right then.
Mhm.
They have the whole season the whole outdoor season. So those vouchers are good until the end of October.
Mhm. And this is really wonderful. And I remember, because it would be great to share with the listeners a little bit about how this idea came about. And in the beginning, I know that the Piscataquis Healthy Food for All, which is now Piscataquis Food Center, helped support the
Yes.
veggie vouchers. So I'm really appreciative of the this kind of working together as community organizations to provide this opportunity, so that it's funded in part by the Piscataquis
Yes.
Regional Food
Yeah.
Center for the food for the
Veggie vouchers.
veggie vouchers. Try saying
Right.
that 5 times fast.
Yeah.
So that's I'm appreciative that we were able to help
Yeah.
support in
Yeah.
that way. But how did you come up with this idea? How did it come?
It was originally there was a passport sort of program at the Bangor Farmers Market,
Okay.
but it was strictly all the activities took place right at the farmers market.
Right.
And our Dover Cove Farmers Market is really too small, and just that model didn't work for our
Sure,
area.
sure.
So the idea was to bring it farther out into the community, because there are some great things out and about that people aren't always aware of.
And within walking distance also, which in
Right.
the summer months,
Yeah.
it's easier to navigate.
Yeah.
Children can go from the farmer's market,
Yeah.
walk to the school garden,
Yeah.
walk to the summer lunches, walk to the community
Yeah.
dinner.
Yeah.
So there are things that are accessible by foot, which is
Right.
a wonderful activity in the summer. Gets kids out and
Yeah.
moving, gets
Yeah.
families out and moving.
Yes.
So you mentioned a little bit about programming that's coming up this season.
Yeah.
So including the Soil and Water Conservation District
Mhm.
and developing a series of events or classes that kids can participate
Yeah.
to get their passport stamped.
Yes.
What are the needs? How can community members support this? What supports? Is it involvement? Is it? What do you see this season looking like?
Well, we are, as with anything that requires volunteers. Yeah,
Sure.
volunteers are.
Mhm.
It's also it's a 4-H program, so all of the volunteers that conduct a class or a series of classes like the one that we're doing, the soil and water
Okay.
conservation district. Oops.
Okay.
They have to go through a specific training for 4-H. So it's a little more involved than just like, come on in and help us out.
Okay.
But I'm sure, I know there are opportunities at the meals themselves.
Mhm.
To,
At the summer lunch,
yes,
the free
yep,
summer lunch
yep,
programs at Setamocha.
At Setamocha.
Yeah.
I have heard that, I can't think of her name, the kitchen manager now.
Oh, Katie.
Heather Witten.
Heather.
Yes.
Okay.
That
Thank you,
she's
Tina. Videographer extraordinaire.
that she's working on having some cool stuff happening at the meal site.
In terms of enrichment activities.
Yes.
Okay, so there's
that's a good place to.
So there are a few options for community members to get involved. So it sounds like there are specific ways that community members could be trained in 4-H
Mm-hmm.
to provide more formal events or learning experiences
Right.
that would be incorporated into checking off the passport for kids. And also sounds like just people to help set up, break down at summer lunches and be
I'm not.
supportive of that. Right,
so
which is
Heather would be the person to contact about
right.
that. I don't know the specific needs there.
sure.
But yeah, a lot of the individual programs could use some, or individual, not programs, but like these little events that you get checked off can use, like, the community meals can usually use more volunteers.
Absolutely.
And like those.
Yeah, and so for our listeners, just so you all know that if anybody listening or viewing this is interested in helping support this and helping and wanting to find out more information about Passport, you can contact Trisha at the Cooperative Extension. You can also call the Piscataquis Regional Food Center and we can give you more information on volunteering at summer meals, which this Passport program, we should clarify, is taking place here in the Dover Foxcroft area. We also have additional summer meals in other towns, but this Passport program for this season is primarily based in Dover Foxcroft, which it would be nice to talk a few minutes before we close about how you see this. Do you see this expanding into other towns in the future? Is this something that, what are your wildest dreams about this Passport program, Trisha?
Yes, I would love to see it in other communities in Piscataquis County for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, it was one reason I called it the Piscataquis Passport,
right.
Aside from the alliteration, because that's fun.
Oh, alliteration is always good. Yes.
But,
yeah.
Because I do envision it as being more for in other areas of the county. And yeah, I think it's, because all of our communities have things going on.
And unique things that could be strengthened, right? So thinking about communities and what things are available that people might not know about, I agree also. And it reminds me that when we are thinking about creating a model and then involving other towns, this is a great example, right? Because you took the idea from the Bangor Farmers Market and realized, oops, well, it doesn't quite work the same way in our community, so there was this level of adjustment and really looking at what is the need of the specific Dover Foxcroft community and how can we map it out and kind of give a little, it's like a little mini tour for kids to learn and families too. So it's trailing off, but yeah, thank you. Well, I think I thank you for talking about this, and Teresa.
We should probably say how to sign up for the passport.
Yes, please, please do that. Yes, tell our viewers how to sign up for Passport. Critical information. Yes.
So we have enrollment forms at the extension office right here at 165 East Main Street. We're the barn to the courthouse.
Nice.
So you can pick one up there. You can also download one from our website, and you can download one for sure from the Piscataquis Extension website.
Okay, wonderful. Okay.
Annette put that up this morning. So.
Okay, so downloading and then picking one up in person here at the office.
Yep. And they do have to be they do have to be done on paper with ink and all of that.
And is there a start date, and is there a deadline for becoming a Passport kid?
We've set the sign up deadline at June 3rd.
Okay, so people have until June 3rd to sign up and participate.
So that'll give us enough time to get the passports out to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that they'll be ready when summer comes.
Sure.
It is coming.
I know, it is. Summer's on the way. Okay, and then one quick thought on the Passport program. Kids keep that with them throughout the summer. Is that how this works?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then they hand them in at the end of the season so that I can display them at the fair.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I think that concludes our morning chat about the Passport program.
Cool.
All right. Thank you